was wondering when you were going to make this call. Perhaps we could arrange a meet.
Where are you now?
I'm sitting in my office.
I doubt that.
Why would you doubt that?
If you were in your office right now, we'd be having this conversation face to face.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my classic review for the 2007 action sequel, The Bourne Ultimatum. The film is directed by Paul Greengrass and it stars Matt Damon, Edgar Ramirez, Joan Allen, Julia Stiles, David Strathairn, Scott Glenn, Paddy Considine and Albert Finney. This time round, Jason Bourne is once again brought back into this world of espionage as he is made aware by a journalist that there is a new assassination program called Blackbriar, and it's connected to his origins as an assassin. Bourne has to work with some old allies in order to uncover and expose this program, as well as learning more about his past. Right, so what are my thoughts on the Bourne Ultimatum? Well, I mean, if this film kind of had have been so brilliantly made, I mean, a lot of people could potentially make the argument that it's kind of more of the same. Well, yeah, it is more of the same, and I'm absolutely delighted about that because this franchise has been kind of built on a bed of like this new gritty action reality, and it just works brilliantly. So why would you kind of change a winning formula? I think this is the strongest sequel to the original Bourne identity. I mean, as much as I really do enjoy the second one, and I do, I think this one is slightly better than that one. I think it finishes the trilogy off absolutely brilliantly. I mean, it even ends very poignantly with him kind of floating in water, which is the way the first film started. And he even quotes Clive Owen's character in this film right at the end, saying, "Look at us, look at what they make us give." It's just all very clever how they kind of sew it all together, sort of thing. And I think this has got some of the most impressive action sequences in the whole franchise, as well as some of the most tense scenes as well. I mean, the whole sequence at the beginning with, you know, the journalist in the UK, Simon Ross, played by Paddy Considine, you know, being targeted because of what he knows, and with Jason Bourne kind of turning up, trying to kind of protect him, it's really good how it's all put together, and it's very, very tense. And for me, one of the most iconic scenes of the franchise overall is when there's this realization in the room, when they kind of spot that it's Jason Bourne, and they're kind of like, oh my God, that's Jason Bourne. And so they know what they're dealing with there. They know they're in bother, basically. I love the fact that they kind of expanded on that relationship between Jason Bourne and Pamela Landy, played by Joan Allen from the second one. I thought she was a great addition to the franchise. And they kind of refilmed right at the end of the Bourne Supremacy, where he calls up Pam Landy and, you know, says, "Oh, are you still looking for me?" sort of thing. They kind of refilmed that to kind of tie in better to this film, which I thought was very smart, very clever how they did that. And the whole sequence where he teams up with Julia Stiles as Nikki, is it Tanzania? I think it is where they're trying to track down this, you know, CIA guy who's trying to blow the lid on Blackbriar and Treadstone. And they're chased by, it's not Paz, that's Edgar Ramirez, it's the other assassin in this one, Desh, that's it, who is very competent as an assassin, and he gets some great chase sequences in Tanzania, and then this whole race against time because Jason's got to save Nikki, basically, because this assassin believes that he's taken out Bourne and he hasn't, so his next target is Nikki, and he's zoning in on her, and then you get this exhilarating rooftop chase where Bourne's tracking him over the rooftops, and then, you know, he dives through this window to kind of try and take out Desh, and then what follows is one of the best fight scenes in the franchise, full stop. I mean, they're both as skilled as each other, and you're not convinced Bourne's going to come out on top because he's just so good as this Desh. Brilliantly done. I mean, this film barely gives you time to breathe, and the moments it does give you to breathe are usually full with loads of tension. So it kind of keeps you on the edge of your seat throughout the whole film. And Bourne keeps getting flashbacks about his recruitment into Treadstone, and he keeps having flashbacks about Albert Finney's character, this guy that recruited him and was kind of tasked with stripping him of his identity and turning him into this calculated assassin sort of thing. So you get more layers added to Jason Bourne in regards to how he got into Treadstone, all this kind of stuff. So it kind of throws all that in as well. You've got the corrupt officials. Obviously, David Strathairn's character is the corrupt one. There's a nice scene where he kind of meets with the family member of Marie from the first two films to kind of explain what happened to her. It just ties off the franchise absolutely brilliantly, or the trilogy of Bourne films absolutely brilliantly. And I suspect at that point they never thought they were coming back. We know different now because they did return with Jason Bourne that wasn't as well received as this trilogy of films, and that's understandable. To have such a break and then come back, it was hard to kind of emulate the quality of these three films because they are all absolutely top-notch quality films. Interestingly as well, this won 3 Oscars as well. None of the other Bournes won an Oscar. I don't even think they were even nominated. This won 3 Oscars. Now, they might not be the sexiest Oscars in the world, film editing, sound editing and sound mixing, but it's always nice for films like this to be recognised for the technical achievements that they managed to get on screen, sort of thing. Again, this is another example why I think, and many think that stunts and the best and stunt performers should be part of the Oscars at this stage, and it's probably really unfair that they're not. But yeah. Incredibly entertaining, this one, in my opinion. It never lets you come up for air. It's got a great start to the film, it's got a great middle of the film, and it's got a great ending to the film. The whole concept of him kind of coming home and learning more about himself, and that bit where he has a conversation with David Strathairn, sort of saying, where he says, I knew you were going to ring at some point. Where are you right now? Jason Bourne says, well, I'm in my office. He says, no, you're not. If you were, we'd be having this conversation face to face, because he's snuck into his office to get all of his secrets. It's a great moment, sort of thing, because he's kind of everyone's scrambling to get back there then. So yeah, I mean, there's not a lot else to say about the Bourne Ultimatum. It's an absolute joy of a film to watch, and the first 3 certainly Jason Bourne films are incredible. I haven't watched Jason Bourne. I think I've only seen it once, that one, when it first came out. Looking forward to checking it out again, and I hope I'm not too disappointed. I hope it does kind of make sense and fits in with the rest of the franchise, but I will be reminded of that pretty soon, I suppose. So thanks for joining me for this review, guys. I will of course be back with plenty more content on the channel very, very soon.